this. All right, so we're going back on here. So how has this impacted your relationship with the congressman, Frank Pallone?
How is what impacted?
The challenge of John Pallone to your mayoralty.
I don't know at the moment that it has. I saw Frank last week. He had a town hall. He was very friendly. He, interestingly enough, he hasn't said a whole lot about his brother in all this. I have always assumed, I mean, what John pulled 24 years ago had a significant impact because Frank had to run his campaign then. My sense is that Frank isn't all that involved. I don't really know. I'd rather that it doesn't have much of an impact. One of the differences from 1994 to now is I'm 24 years old. I've done this a little while. I got a record I can live on. I'm not afraid of anything at this point politically. If the worst thing that happens to me is I were to lose, I can live with that. I've accomplished a lot. And I stack my record up against just about anybody from Washington these days.
What's the core of that record, Mayor?
I'll start with public safety. Crime's been cut by 2/3. I can show you the statistical evidence of that. We've gone from, at one point we were down around 65, 70 cops. We're about 100 right now. And the town, every neighborhood is safer. Open space, public land, parks, because that was the first issue that got me really involved. A place called Jackson Woods, where one of the first things we did after I got elected in '90 was we filed the Green Acres application. Ultimately, we got the money, and then we negotiated with the property owner, and we turned it into a passive park. And then when we were finished with that, we started negotiating with, again, Green Acres money, and we built Manahasset Creek Park, which is about a 15-acre park. So between the two of them, we added close to 30 acres of parkland and open space to the city and preserved it and paid for it without raising taxes. We rebuilt the tax base in this town. When we started, the oceanfront paid, I don't know, about 2-3% of the taxes. We weren't even getting $200,000 a summer in beach revenue. We're over $2 million every summer now. We get $1.5 million from parking. We've created probably down there between year-round and seasonal jobs, over 1,000 jobs, most of them going to local people. We did it by planning. We did it by working together. One of the themes that we had when we ran in 1990 as a team, we were the clean sweep team then. We all came in, we all won.
Who'd you beat then?
I beat a guy named Bill George, whose sons are very good friends of mine.
Okay. They went to your side after the election.
Yes, they did.
Right, and have basically been there ever since.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're close friends.
Right.
There's 4 boys and a daughter, and Mary, the widow. We're very close. Danny is the high school football wrestling coach and runs my beaches in the summer. But when I ran, the whole idea was that one of the things that had plagued Long Branch was political infighting. The mayor gets elected, the council decides they want to be mayor, so the mayor can't get things done because he's got instant opposition, whatever the goal is. And that's what I went through in 90 through 94. And when I got reelected in 94 and John left town.
And you beat John that year. That's the year
John.
you beat him. Okay.
Beat him in 94,
right.
Yeah. I came in with a group of people who were then and pretty much still are my best friends. I mean, we got very close. We enjoyed working together. It was, if things went well, we all shared in whatever the credit was going to be. When things didn't go well, we all took responsibility as a team and as a group. And as such, we advanced where the city was. I mean, the first major decision we made was, we'd been in office. It was fall of '94. We've been in office together for about 3 months, and a grant that came through that had been applied for before the election came through, and we got COPS. This was under the Clinton administration. It was called the COPS Fast Grant. And we had to decide to match the grant, and we had to commit to keeping the officers for 3 years. And we all said, we looked at it and said, we're going to keep them forever. We're not going back. If it means, we're going to figure out the money and make it work. Because the town, if you're going to bring people into town, town has to be safe. First decision we made. We made it as a team. We made it work. And we all got the credit for making the town safer.
Did you and Unger ever run together? Brian Unger?
No.
He came in on his own, and
He came in.
Okay.
John Zambrano got in trouble, had to resign.
Remember,
and
I
Brian,
remember now. Okay.
ran
Yep.
in a special election and won, and then ran against me in 2010.
Whatever happened to him?
Turn off the camera for a second. I'll be happy to tell you.